Welcome to Hustle Culture. My name is Andres Tagliaferro, and this show is all about talking to everyday business owners about what they do and why they do it. In this episode of Hustle Culture, we talk to none other than Tyrell Greenlee, aka Mr. Glory. Ty is a super talented videographer. He started out doing YouTube vlogs, learned, and now is actually a really successful videographer in Dallas. He flies out to Los Angeles all the time and creates videos for artists, dancers, and a bunch of cool stuff. With Ty having over 20,000 followers, we touch on how to grow on Instagram, how to gain followers organically without having to, buy them or do any ads. We talk about the gatekeepers and the creative industry and some myths that exist in this industry. And, we talk about so much more. I hope you guys get at least a fraction of the value that I got while talking to Ty by listening to this podcast. And well, enjoy. Podcast with you, bro. You look way better than me. Welcome, bro. Welcome to Hustle Culture, the podcast designed to empower other people to do what they love. Ty, how are you?
Doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, bro? How's Mr. Glory? How's he been the last month, 2 months, 3 months? How have you been, man?
Trying to stay relaxed. I'm excited to be here, but yeah, been busy.
That's good. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of different, shades of you. You do a lot of different things, which we'll go into a lot of it. But I do want to start with clearly your main thing, which is Mr. Glory. You see it right there. Mr. I wanted to do Mr. Glory, but that thing is in the way. For the audio listeners,
that's some great artistic work.
Dude, it took me no less than 10 minutes, no more than 15. But yeah, for the audio people, I drew on the whiteboards here, and it's pretty bad. But anyways, so how did Mr. Glory start? I know we've known each other for a long time. We did video together for Calvary, for the church. We've done a lot of video projects together. Back when you were doing real estate full time, I helped you out with video and stuff. But specifically, Mr. Glory, what is that? Who is Mr. Glory, and what do you do?
So specifically, I would say like the dance videos that I edit. So that's something that started for me just trying to do something different. So I wanted to branch out and try something new. And I seen that was just now, like right before it hit, I seen a video and I was like, I think I could do that. So I met up with a kid, did the video, and it's been blowing up ever since, really.
Dude, that's epic. Shout out to the team back there. Looking great. So the dance video, how did that start? I want to know, like, you said you wanted to just do something different, but it's a lot of work,
it's a whole lot.
As somebody who does video, I understand a little bit. I don't know all of it because I don't do it. But just how did that even pop in your head? How did you start doing glow videos in the first place?
The way I started is I seen a video. I forgot who it was. I seen a video of first, but I seen them doing effects. And I was like, I want to do that because I think I saw it from somebody in LA. So I met up with this kid named Caleb that was local. I know he was a dancer. It was like the first person I seen in Dallas. So I was like, hey, can I try to do a glow video of you? I don't know what I'm doing, but I just want to try something out. So we filmed the video, and at that point I still didn't know how to do it. So like I went on YouTube, that's like one of the best places to learn how to do stuff.
That's where I learned everything.
Yeah, so I looked up glow effects. I think it was scribble effects at the time. So I looked up scribble effects, and then I had to look up how to add glow. So it was just crunch time on YouTube just to see how to do it and then practice. So that is one of my worst videos, but it's still up.
No, bro, I think that's my favorite because that's the one you did when he was on stage, right?
Yeah, on stage.
No, bro, that's my favorite. That's the GOAT. That's the first one. I remember going on Instagram and seeing it for the first time and seeing it get like, I think it was like 1,000 views at the first time because he was sharing it. He was popular for a little high school dude. You know what I mean? But
exactly,
he could dance. But yeah, that's awesome. So you saw it on Instagram. You saw this dude from Los Angeles doing, so you picked it up. Let's go into that. YouTube, okay? Because, that's my school. I'm the alumni of YouTube school.
Yes.
That's, one of the things about me is that I didn't go to college, you know what I mean? I mean, I did, but I dropped out and I didn't do that whole thing. That's how I learned a lot. But for you, somebody, because, I do video as a whole. I do you know, commercial stuff, you know, other stuff, but the special effects thing, that's a hole I've never gone into because you know, I open up After Effects, I know basic animation to get me by, to change a template, but I don't know all that. So, you know, what was it like? Because that was just, you know, YouTubing just one video on Scribble. But if you guys haven't seen his Instagram, Mr. Glory is pretty dope. And he does a lot more than just glow now. You do a lot of different special effects. So like, what's your learning process like?
The learning now, because you know when you the first person that taught me how to do video. So the good thing is that I didn't have a MacBook, so I had to get Premiere Pro. So when I had Premiere Pro, I was afraid of After Effects. Like I did as much as I can in Premiere Pro.
Right.
And then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I might as well try this out, and because you know it looks unfamiliar. If you for people that know, you look at the Premiere timeline, it's simple.
Right.
After Effects, you're like, where is this? Where is this? How I do this?
That's facts.
So
Scary
like,
place.
so I was like, it's time for you to not be scared of this. And then I just started learning little things over and over.
Yeah.
Trying new things, and with the glow effects, it made me try to find new ways to do stuff because I'll think of something like I can't do it in Premiere Pro.
Right.
And I don't know how to do it in After Effects yet, so I just kept doing it. So now the things that I do is like a accumulation of different things I already know. So I feel like I kind of mastered the majority of After Effects.
Nice.
But yeah, that's how I really got into that. It's just like practicing.
Just YouTube practice.
YouTube practice. So most of and like I tell people that, like I do a glow video. A lot of those are practice videos. So people are like, hey, this looks great. I'm like, I was practicing. So it's like
that was your first chance. This is the first try. Yeah,
first try I put it out. So yeah, that's all it is practice and learning. So.
That's so cool. That's awesome. It's cool because you know, my generation, our generation, is one of, you know, that's how we learn. There is no, you know, there's literally a podcast called No Film School where it talks about just tells you everything how to do it. But you know, for me personally, I think that, you know, the generational gap, a lot of people who don't know what it's like to live in an internet environment, which is becoming very small. I feel like everybody, internet, everything, digital, everything, everyone's understanding it now. But, you know, for those people who don't get it, and for the people listening, it's as easy as YouTubing it and practicing it. I think that's for everything you've said so far, because that's all it is. YouTube practice, YouTube practice. So Instagram-wise, you've worked with more celebrities that I can count. I don't even know who to start with a lot of like celebrity dancers and then to actual like, you know, artists and stuff. How did you start with that? How does that work?
So I literally would just DM a person and say, hey, I want to add effects. Like after I got comfortable with it, I was like, hey, I want to add effects to your video. And this is before I actually like blew up with it.
Right.
And like people respond.
So the video will be done. The video, like the actual video.
Oh, no, it won't be done yet.
Okay.
So it's before I even try it. So I'll just say, hey, I just want to get your blessing to add effects to your video because I know this is your video.
Right.
Because, you know, some people don't like when you just add stuff without them asking.
I get it, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I reached out first, is just doing it. Like I started with people that's like under 100,000. I'm like, oh, these people responding. Wow. So I'm like, when we go to 1 million, they respond. 3 million. I'm like, oh, so people actually see it. It's like,
what's the most famous person you've done a video for?
The most famous,
I've seen Lil Duval on your feed.
Probably Lily Pons.
I forgot about her. Yep.
Because at the time I know it's crazy. A lot of people I don't know who they are sometimes until I be like, oh dang, that's okay. I know who that is.
Yeah. Okay.
What's his name? It's a rapper.
Dang! Shout out that rapper.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
You're not rememberable. You're not memorable.
This was a while ago. But who else? Motivational speakers. Like it's been a lot of different people.
That's so cool. And because the genre, the whole thing of adding an effect to a video, it's not. It's very popular in hip hop and dance and stuff. But you can add it to anything.
Yeah.
And I've seen you do it to sport. I've seen the basketball ones you've done.
Yeah.
Dude, that's wild. And I just think it's crazy that somebody can pick that up, literally, because you know, we said it and we're just brushing past it. Pick it up on YouTube. Like this is, people go to school for this. People go to like, you know, different things for it, and you just did it.
Yeah.
And one of the things I like focusing on this podcast a lot. I did it with Ruben in our last podcast. Check it out if you haven't. But we really talked about mindset.
Yeah.
And the mindset that he had. One of the things he said is just be. We were talking about networking, and it was a different, conversation. But that idea of like, just do it, Nike, shout out.
Yeah.
Just like learn it and do it. A lot of people stumble on that part, which is the, I gotta practice, I gotta perfect it, and then do it.
Yeah.
But you said, no, most of the videos I post are my practice run, and I'm just posting it.
Exactly.
Dude, that's okay. Where do you? I asked this before. Where do you get the confidence to just do it, to just post it, to just? Because at this point, at this stage, you have over 20,000 followers on Instagram. There's got to be some weight, or at least in my eyes, the way I would see it. And maybe I'm twisted and messed up, and I'm just, I suck. But the way I see it, the more followers you have, the more eyeballs you have.
Yeah.
And that stresses me out because I'm like, 20,000 people potentially can watch this. It's got to be perfect. And I do that with my, 1,000 people that follow me, and I get stressed out. But how do you do it, dude? What makes you post it?
I actually had this conversation with a client because he was contemplating putting something out because of how people may feel. And what I let him know is like, whenever I first got started, of course, you don't have a lot of eyes on you at first. You don't feel you do, but you still do.
Right.
But once it starts, like I got to the point, I think once I hit like 10 or 12,000, that's when people are like, oh, this is garbage. This sucks. This. I'm like,
oh, like hating. People hating now.
Yeah.
Oh,
so the way I look at it is that no matter what you do, somebody gonna find a positive or a negative about it.
Right.
Regardless. Like it could be the most perfect thing, pristine. They gonna be like, you posted at the wrong time. Like it's something that they gonna do.
Bro, that's the worst criticism ever. It's like, yeah, but did you see the 3 hours it took me to do this one frame?
So that's how I feel. That's where I get the confidence is that people gonna have their opinion no matter what.
Yeah.
But as long as I like it, and then like I got people that I show it to, like so I show it to my wife Dana, or I show it to my brother. So if they come back and be like, you could do better, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I can.
So having that first circle,
that first circle
to kind of verify, okay, this is worth the later circles and whatnot.
Yeah, because I know nobody is harder on me than Dana and my brother. Like they really gonna tell me like, you can do way better than that. I'm like, you saw me doing 5 hours of work on this, and you talk about I can do better. So then I do it better, and then boom.
Yeah.
So like the videos that I feel don't go as big, it's because I didn't listen to them. I'm like, nah, I don't feel like doing it. I'm just gonna post it.
Yeah, the ones where you don't go that extra.
Yeah.
2 hours. What is that? So for you, for creating these videos, let's say the basic 1 minute, 30 second, 45, it doesn't matter, dance clip of you adding glow and visual effects to it. How long does that take?
Man,
on average, I know some
on average, like real time, I would say complete to done, 30 seconds, probably like a day.
A day.
Like off and on a day. A minute, that's like 3 days.
Wow.
Because it's like, I like to fill gaps. So I don't want it to be like a long space of no effects.
Right.
So like that minute is literally like pretty much probably 50 seconds of complete edits. So it'll take me 3 days to do it, but I'm not doing it 3 straight, like
I feel
72 hours.
Right.
Like I do it, I get tired, then I may work on a different project. I may play Call of Duty. I may just take a nap, just something to like refresh my mind and get back to it. But it'll take, I try to max it out at three days.
Dude.
But yeah, it takes a while.
That's a long time for a minute. And people, for me, I'm here, I'm listening and I'm like, I get it. Because we're in the same space. Yeah. But for the viewer,
they understand that.
A minute video. Oh, bro, this is the worst. This is the most annoying criticism I get. Or not criticism, but that client thing where they're like, I just need a minute video. They're like, they don't, we just come out, film, just a minute. I don't need it to be a feature film, nothing like that. And I'm like, yeah, but it takes 2 days to go film it. And then it takes this. And for you, it's all editing, bro. Because at least when you're filming it, because we're going to get into that too. You do more than just these glow. I just want to start here. But with glow videos, my least favorite part of the process is editing. Yeah. It gives me headaches, bro. So when you started doing it, I told you when you started, I was like, bro, I honor you and I respect you. Because I don't know if I could sit there in After Effects and go frame by frame, clicking. Now they got the tracker. Now they got other stuff that helps. And
it made it a little bit easier.
But it's still 3 days for a minute. So
it's hard.
People don't get that. And I'm going to clip this. And when a client texts me and is like, or a potential person is like, yo, can you do this for me for blank $100, I'm gonna send this clip. And I'll be like,
Yeah,
no.
definitely said it. And the funny thing, I had a client. It was a wedding client. You know how I feel about weddings.
Oh, God.
So I had a lady. She was like, "You cost more than the DJ." I'm like, "Man, the DJ comes, set up, plays music, and leaves. I got to come early, set up, follow you around,
Bro.
8 hours, and then I got to go home and look through 8 hours,
Oh my God.
and then pick the best clips. And then I got to be like, oh, did I get your aunt in it? Did I get your nephew in it? So yeah, I stopped. For those of you that are watching, I don't do music. I don't do weddings.
Oh, dude.
It's not a fee. You can pay me.
So let's as we got into weddings. How did you? And this is, I mean, that's a very traditional path on getting started with video.
Yeah.
But what was the process for you? How did you start doing video in general?
I started video. Oh, you know, I started video. So I started video with trying to do vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, like, I tell a lot of people, because a lot of people ask me since then, like, how you get started? I'm like, man, you're not going to believe this kid ain't tags. Like,
Oh my God.
it's like, he was the realest person. Like, look, man, I could charge you for this, or I could show you how to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do it myself. I want to, I just want to pay you to do it.
Yeah.
But that was like the best decision.
Oh, dude.
Like, that was the best advice that I received, because it helped me get to the point. Because, like, without getting that, I would have never looked at editing.
Right.
If I jump straight to editing, I'm like, After Effects? Nah.
Yeah.
No
No.
way.
Yeah. That's too much.
But yeah, I eased into it because, you know, it's like you just going in the water and you got to go to the little shallow part and then go to deep.
Yeah.
So if you jump straight in the cold water, ain't no telling what's going to happen. So I want to honor you for that, for
Oh,
telling
dude.
me that. So that's really how I got in the video,
Yeah.
is because I wanted to showcase a real estate agent, like, behind the scenes, like a vlog. So
Right.
that's actually how I got started. And
What did we
then
call that? I remember we had a series for it, right?
something with Ty. It was, I got to go look at it.
Yeah, yeah. Those are good times, though. I remember that. That was fun.
Man.
But you started with the vlogs with YouTube. Okay.
Started the vlogs. The first paying client was a music video, but it was like anniversary type. So it wasn't like a real music video. It's just something real light. He
Like
actually goes to
promo?
the church. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that was the first one, and then it just went.
So you started with music stuff. You
Mhm.
started with, music video
Started with
type
music, and then I had like a real music video I did.
stuff.
And at the time, I was like, I'm never doing a music video again.
Bro, I've said that 7 times, bro.
Yeah, then now I'm back doing music video. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it just went from that, and I was just trying to do anything. Like, anybody that said, "Hey, I need video," like, I don't care what it is. It could be a wedding, it could be a promo video, it could be a commercial, it could be real estate. I was just down to do it because I'm not gonna know what I like without trying it.
That's awesome. And I think that's something really important as somebody, a creative trying to get into the space in video.
Mhm.
And majority of people watching this are going to be inherently creative people because it's about a creative and your life and stuff. But so for those people, if you're trying to get into it, or if you're that photographer trying to go into video, which a lot of people are doing, you got to do that. You can't just expect to be doing, the really cool narrative Nike stuff first, or like the really cool whatever it is you want to do. You got to learn the different things, because one of the things that I've really enjoyed about my career and what I've been doing is that I did that. And even though I hated it, I did a wedding. And I hated it. I don't do weddings. I got a text me the other day, like, you used to do weddings. I was like, nah. I freaking hate weddings, bro.
No LOL is nah.
No, bro, nothing. I got 3 videographers I can send you if you need a wedding done, but it ain't me.
You immediately sent somebody like, here, try him.
Bro, I did, because I feel bad if I just leave you hanging. You know what I mean? But yeah, so but I did that, and I did 1 or 2. I think I've done like 4, but it's too stressful. But you learn, and it's like everything else in life. You taste and you see and you like it and you don't, and then that way you see what you actually like doing.
Exactly.
But I'm glad, because you it's cool that you dip your toes first in the music side, and then because that's what you're doing nowadays. Let's talk a little bit about that. Whoa, let's talk a little bit about that. Everyone in the audio was like, huh? No, let's talk about that. So you do music videos, full productions. What does that look like? How did you get started with that?
I got started with that. From the first one, I kind of knew, and I knew what I didn't want to do, and knew what I needed, like the change that I needed to make. Because the first one, I didn't brainstorm anything. It was just like, show up, like, all right, let's film right here. Okay, let's go on top of this. So when I got to edit, I'm like, I should have did this. I should have did that. So now what I do is I pre-plan it out and make sure that the client knows what my thoughts are, and also get their thoughts on it. And then it's like a whole shot set up. So I know the angles I got to get. I know how many times I need to get it. And I know all those things going forward. So the clients, like one, I work with a music studio and he just signed an artist. Oh, nice. So he has me doing some of his videos. So that was like the first one. He was like, hey, I know you do a lot of my stuff in the studio. Like, do you want to do a music video? I was like, I tried.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I tried. I was like, okay, I do like this because like I planned it out. Like it makes sense now.
Yeah.
I'm not just like
stressing.
Yeah. Cause like I went into like a wedding. A wedding, you can't really plan nothing because everything's already pre-planned. You just got to catch everything. So this, I had to like mix it up and make sure I know what I'm doing. And then when people asking like, hey, what we do next? Like, oh yeah, we got to go right here. We got to go to this scene. Then I feel like, okay, I feel professional now.
Right. You know what you're doing. And it's less stress and all that.
Yeah, way less stress.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. So you started with the music studio, the recording studio. How'd you get that gig? Because I saw that. And Post Malone has recorded there, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
The Baby was just there.
The Baby was there?
He was just there a couple weeks ago.
Dude, so, wait, did you get to, like, go film that? Or
I was supposed to go, and
dang, Ty's too big time, bro. He can't do the Baby videos now, bro.
Because it's weird, like, whenever it's big artists, it get weird because they already got their own videographers.
Right.
So then it's like, you compete, and it's like, hey, what you got your camera on for? I'm like, I'm recording for the studio.
That's real, dude. That's a real thing, bro. I remember when I started, I did events, and I remember, with Calvary Dallas.
Yeah.
We went to, it was me, the pastor, and then my best man, Michael. Shout out, Michael. We went to this fashion event because the guy who was doing the fashion event was Christian, and he was cool. And anyway, so I'm there with my little Canon T2i with a like $200 lens. I'm starting. This is my first time, and I'm there. I wasn't even doing video. I was taking photos, but you know how it is when you start. There ain't no video setup. It's just your camera.
Yeah.
So I'm there, feeling cool because I got the camera. I'm tags. I got the camera. And, bro, this dude rolls up, looking nice, too. Look at, he got the all blacked out. You know how you got to be for events. All blacked out. Monopod, huge monitor,
ready.
Red camera, huge lens. And I'm just standing next to him. And I was like, I remember saying, looking over here like, I like your camera. And looking at me and be like, thanks. And that was it.
Thanks, little man.
but that's so true. So, so that's hard when you have like big celebrities. That's like a thing you got to look for.
Yeah. So I stay away unless I'm already there. Right. And I can't help it.
Right. Dang. Then you got to be like nice to him.
Yeah.
Be like, hey,
the story of how I work with him is crazy. So the guy, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a minute. But he was a creative, but he was like jipping people. I forgot his name, but he was like jipping people to where he'll like charge a crazy amount, and then he'll book the videographers, book the photographers.
Wow!
And so he'll provide more than what he say. So that guy, somehow he met the owner, and then he picked me out of the blue. Was like, hey, can you shoot this at LMG, the studio?
Wow!
I was like, yeah, I do it. So I came and shot. Met up with the owner. Was chopping up with him. He a real cool person.
Right.
So I shot the video, and then I had to send a video directly to him. So that opened up a line of communication.
Right.
So I sent it to him, and he was like, it was a couple months later. He was like, man, the guy that introduced me to you, man, I don't know, man, because like he's supposed to do this, and that, and it's not happening. So we started talking about that. I'm like, hey, I haven't talked to him since he invited me out to do it, and he was like, well, you a great videographer. Can you just do my videos? And
wow.
So that's kind of how I got connected from somebody
fire.
That's kind of like scamming, but like I said, he off the scene. Like it was crazy.
That's wild. That sucks. I feel bad for him, but hey, he got you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, some things are just stepping stones to greatness, and then they got you out of it. So that's awesome. That's wild. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should charge extra and then hire you. No, so that's cool though. Me, I can relate to that because most of my early, I was at 18, 19, was contract with agencies. So I would do, it wasn't my thing. Now I have my own agency, but now back then I would work for other agencies. It was that same idea.
Yeah.
It was very normal, but they be doing that. They be scamming people. It sucks.
Yeah,
that's why,
hard.
This is why this is sponsored by Trinity Tax Content Creation. We don't do that. We're actually good. But anyways, so one of the things I want to talk about, coming from that, what's it like I know what it's like, but for the people listening and for maybe the person who wants to get into it,
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit about, making a living as a creative. Like, one of the things I struggled with a lot, is everyone would say, that's why there's a billion videos on YouTube on this subject, but it's getting clients and getting started. What to just getting a client in general, what's your go-to? What do you do to get a client?
For me to get a client, well, I said when I started, for me to get a client, to me, it's a people's business. So it's relationship.
Right.
Because a lot of my first clients they either knew me or they knew me through somebody. So that's why I say it's like relationship. So as long as you're a good person, like I'm gonna get into how to do it outside that, but
right.
As long as you're a good person, like it feel like stuff just come your way. Because people like, Ty's a good person, man. He can do this video. And they don't know what type of video I can do. They be like, he can do it.
Right.
So those are like the first ones I was doing. And then like as it got on IG, like I said, I would purposely kind of like reach out, email people sometimes or DM them like, hey, can I do this, and that? And then like I may do something like I call it training. That way people don't be like, oh, he's doing it for free. Like, no, I'm training.
So, I see, yeah.
I just want to try this, and then I do it, and then they'll know somebody else. They'll be like, well, hey, I got this friend that he liked the video I did. Can you do a video for him?
That's awesome.
So that's how I got a lot of my first stuff is like that. But now,
scrimmages.
Yeah, scrimmages. So it's like it's practice, just doing practice stuff. But now it's like building up IG. Like if I post something, it's like I'm gonna get like 5 people that's gonna reach out for something.
Dang.
So that's the good thing now is
that's
that.
Fire.
But that's what I would say to people that's starting out is to do it as training, because like I just don't like doing stuff like saying free, because you give the perception that it's always gonna be free,
right?
And then they're like they gonna refer other people like, oh yeah, he did this for free. Like,
so when you reach out to them, you tell them, hey, I want to practice.
Yeah.
You don't tell them I want to do this for free.
No. Yeah, I tell them I want to practice. Like, hey, I seen, I like what you're doing. I want to try something because I haven't did a video like that yet. So if you want to use it, you can use it, but I just want to post it on my page so I can have something to show.
Wow.
And then if it come to it, I still send them my rates just so they'll know that, no, it's not. Just so they'll know that. But for the most part, that's how I reach out. And I had that talk with my brother too, because I'm like, when you do stuff free, like I said, it's like the expectation is so low. Like, and
you're setting a precedent.
Yeah, because then if you come like, oh yeah, I usually charge $250 an hour. It's like, what? You just did it free.
Oh, I see. Because then you're setting an expectation for them.
Yeah.
Got you.
So that's how I do it. I just say training.
That's
or
huge.
Something like that.
That's awesome, because I hear it a lot. I talked about it last podcast, but one of the big inspirations of this podcast and everything is Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Hustle culture is a term used negatively towards his mindset, which is you need to hustle and work hard.
Yeah.
It's taken out of context, so I'm bringing it back with this podcast. But one of the things he says, and people don't get because of the wording is so important. I don't think people understand language and why it matters. But yeah, saying, can I do this to post for my Instagram, and you're telling them this is why, instead of just saying, hey, here's this video I made. You can use it for whatever you want. It's free. It makes, it sets that expectation where they're probably not going to work with you for anything more than that, because you've already done it. You stated that. But also, it sets a false expectation across the board as you as a person. Something I ran into, there was this real estate agent, and she called me, and 2020 has been a year of learning for me, and I'm sure for everybody because of COVID. All you can do is learn. All you can do is consume. But one of the things that I learned was, if you pitch a certain price to a client or a potential person, and you get a no, they're going to see you as a premium that they will hope to attain one day, as opposed to you settling and getting a yes, and now they see you as this cheap, inexpensive, affordable, easy thing to get. And It was funny because one of the things I struggle with, because again, when you listen to Gary Vee being like, DM 100 people and, tell them you'll do it for free, I don't really 100% agree with that, because this lady, or I thought I should do that. I did that for a long time. And, now I'm full time. I wasn't then, clearly. And so one of the things I noticed the first time I tried, and it was my first time throwing this number out there. This girl was like, hey, I need you to just come and record closing. I need photos. He's a real estate agent.
Gotcha.
And I was like, okay, yeah. And I've never had charged a video for $1,000 at this time. And then I was like, yeah, it'll be 1,000. She was like, oh man, I was thinking 250, 200. And then she's like, why do you charge so much? And then I go into it, but off of everything I learned, and I was like, well, you know, I have to do this, explaining the whole intricacies of all that. And instead of her saying what I imagined in my, you know, mindset back then, which would be a screw you, this is too expensive, you're scamming people, I got you know what you're talking about. I'm writing in my goals for next year to work with you. And it was like, whoa, I should have been doing this from the jump. Yeah. But people don't understand that, man. But that's awesome. So, you know, making a living, that's how you get those clients. You start by the people you know, then they talk to people they know.
Yeah,
and stuff
reach out, they reach back.
That's awesome. So, you know, what's your success rate? I'm just curious with people that you don't know, because when you know somebody, it's a lot easier to get a job. Like you said, that there's already a built trust.
Yeah.
But there's cold emails, you know, DMs and stuff. As somebody who has, you know, 20,000, you know, followers, what does that look like? Do most people say, oh yeah, let's do it? Or like, what is that?
Yeah, I mean, they come to the same thing that you said. It was like, oh, that's up there, but yeah, you worth it. I understand. So I get a lot of those, because at first I was like, when I first was like right around probably like 5'10",
right?
Like I negotiate more.
Right.
And I was like, oh, maybe 300. Oh, it's kind of high. Can you do lower? Like, all right, 200. But now I'm like, nah, it's the price. Like,
that's it.
Because I already like, it's like I do it so much that it kind of get repetitive. So I don't want to just do something that I don't like. So if I don't like it, I'm not gonna do it anyway. So somebody like, hey, can you add glow to this? And I'm like, I got like it's such backed up right now. Like, you know?
yeah.
I may say that, or I'm like, or I get a price, because I can tell. You can tell by like the effort they put in if they can afford what your price is gonna be. So like if I know they probably gonna say no anyway, but like, hey, this is my budget, I just send it out. Like I got an automated response now. I just send it out, boom.
That's
and
fire. People
may come back and be like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'm like, dang
it. Dude, because yeah, that's how it is. So glow videos, you know, I wanted to talk about this, but are you kind of still doing it? Are you transitioning out of it? What's that look like? Because like I said, I know how much work it is. So that's why when you started, I was like, be ready, bro, because if you pop off with this, you're stuck with this. You know what I mean? But how's that looking? What are you still doing those all the time? What does that look like?
I fell back for doing them. I still do them. And I kind of said, like, it's like, you know how you make your favorite sandwich? You eat that favorite sandwich enough, you're going to hate that sandwich. So that's how I felt. Because like, I love doing glow video. I still do.
Yeah.
But it's just like, another glow video. Another glow video. I got to do this again. So I still do them, but I'm transitioning more to music videos, because I can add glow in it if I want to. And it's not as like, it's not the whole video. If I add a little snippet, they're like, oh yeah, I love that. Yeah. Can you add just a little bit more of that? Like, yeah. I can do that. It's easy. Yeah. Like the time frame for me to do a minute video, I could probably do a music video. So that's why I'm transitioning, just to like free it up a little bit. So I'm doing something different. Yeah. But I'm still going to post some glow. Actually, I've been looking at a glow video. And then the thing too, like the ones I practice on, I haven't been like, since COVID, it kind of like restricted a lot. Yeah. So a lot of the places weren't open. Like a lot of studios weren't open. Wow. So it was like home recordings. Wow. And you know, with video, each frame is fuzzy. Like if you're doing it from a cell phone or something, it's fuzzy compared to like a DSLR or a mirrorless. Yeah. So as that started happening, I was like, I don't want to work with those. Yeah. How did that? So you talk a little bit, but COVID, how did that affect your business? Because music videos, you know, that's big production. That's a lot of people. How does that work? So when COVID hit, initially everything stopped. Like I had stuff lined up, and it was just boom. Like, no, let's like push it back. Dude. So in 2 weeks, I was like, whoa. Dude. What am I about to do? I'm laughing to not cry, because that's facts. That's so sad, bro. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so I was like, what am I about to do? Because this is crazy. Luckily, I still had some money saved up. Yeah. But like after that 2 weeks, like people, I guess they was like, okay, we still got to do stuff. You know, we still got to work. Yeah. So then I started getting like an influx of videos like, hey, can you add some glow to this? I just did this at the house. And then I had people that needed content, that needed to film. So it's like the business stopped, and then it was the best business I ever had. Wow. Like right after that. Yeah. So like I was really booked up for like at least a month in advance from doing COVID. Bro, that's so real. I think people didn't understand that, but
I felt that too. It was kind of like a little period of like scare. It was like scarcity. Everyone's scared.
Everybody hold on to their money. Like, hold on.
Yeah. And then they're like, wait, the world isn't over. And then they're like, we got to go harder. And I don't know about you, but for me, during COVID, it was that period of nothing. And then boom, because everyone realized, well, now this is all we can do.
Yeah, it's all we can do.
We can't do in-person stuff. We can't do events. We can't do concerts. We can't do this. All we can do is put out videos. That's really cool though. For music, how did that affect? Because you're in the industry, right? What did you see? How did you see it affecting the music industry and stuff like that for videos?
For videos, they wanted more effects because they couldn't do what they normally could do, probably. Wow. So like they couldn't go to certain places. They had to record in a small studio. So they needed something to spice up the video. Wow. So that that actually is initially what got me back into music videos is just editing. Yeah. Cause like I'm looking at it and, you know, as a creative, you're always critiquing stuff. So I'm like, why did they cut it right here? Like the beat is right here. And I could have did an effect, but the clip changed. So
that must be so frustrating.
It was frustrating. All these people was LA people. So as I'm working like during the COVID stuff and I'm seeing all these, I think the biggest one was like Universal. They had a video they wanted me to do. Damn. And I'm like, this is what LA is doing? Like,
that's wild.
So that's when I was like, you know, I can do this. Cause I'm just thinking like, I'm overthinking. I'm like, if this is the best, and I actually had I forgot what they call it. Not a DP. He's not a DP. They get director. But he was telling me, he was like, yeah, man, I had a graphics guy that was doing my effects, my special effects. He was charging this much. And I see your work and it's better. Like, I'm going to show you what he did. So he showed me. I was like, what? I was like, are you serious? So, because, you know, being outside of like LA and New York, you just feel those are like the peak. So only the best can survive there. So I'm thinking like, if it's LA, that's the best that can be. And I'm looking, I'm like, no way.
Nah.
And then he was like, yeah, he left me to go work for this other place. I'm like, I could come do this. So I do most of his video effects.
Nice. That's awesome.
But yeah, that was an eye opener. I looked at it differently then.
That's huge. Yeah. Cause you imagine that's so true. I mean, you think, oh, I wish I could live in LA.
Yeah.
You imagine, well, if you've cost this much to live there, then you got to make this much to live there. So you got to be good to make that much. But yeah, man, that's a whole nother conversation, man. Like, are you on Clubhouse?
I just got on. Yeah, I just got on like a couple weeks ago.
So I got on as soon as it started, and I was like, I hated it at first because they send like 1,000 notifications every day. It's so stupid. I don't get it, but it's deleted. I don't have it. But I got into one, and it was really cool because I got like 25 followers, and they were all filmmakers. So for me, for the people who listen to this and know me, most people who follow me aren't creative. Like I got Jacob right there. Legend, you know, you follow me, other people follow me, but it's not a lot of people follow me are business oriented people. Yeah. And so it was cool getting to know and listening to other creatives talk about this stuff. But the conversation topic was big market versus small market. So everybody in this thing, which I didn't know, there's this dude who just did a video for Adorama, that like B&H thing. He was in that, and he was like, he lives in Dallas. And this other guy lives in Amarillo, Texas. And they're all talking about how they have these successful businesses in production and video in these small places. And, you know, you think and you're like, I can't make 6 figures in Dallas doing video. There's no way. I got to be in LA. I got to be in New York. But then something I've noticed, whoa, there's businesses down the street that could probably use it. There's artists here too. How have you kind of, and this is kind of what I hinted at with the question. It's like, in this small market in Dallas, because I know you go to LA and you do other stuff, but in Dallas, how have you found like is the best strategy to get clients like in a small market, in a small city like this? Small. Dallas is pretty big, but
yeah, I would say, because like I said, most of my stuff is like clients are IG. So I forgot who I was talking about. I was like, Dallas is weird. It's like Dallas they won't really want to use you until they see that somebody else is like on top of it. So for example, like whenever, because like I've been doing the same stuff even when I did stuff in LA, but once it blew up to where people in LA was sharing it, people in New York, then it was like people local, like, hey, I'm in Dallas, hey, can you do this? I'm like, and I literally had somebody that I think I DM'd them. I DM'd them before the LA stuff, and then they turned back around and was like, hey, can you do one of my videos? And I looked at it, I was like, I asked you when
I was
it
like,
was,
I see the thread. I see
Yeah, I see
the
it.
message right there.
I see it. I was like, you know what? Now I got to charge you the premium.
Ooh,
Because if you
yeah.
hit me up at that point, you know, I would have been like, yeah, whatever.
That's what they call the booty call premium. You missed me at first, so you gotta get it. That's fire, dude. So
But,
you need
yeah.
that cosign in Dallas. Is
yeah,
what
you
you're
need a
saying.
cosign, or you need something to show like, oh, yeah. I mean, because like just how I was looking at it, like, oh, if LA is using him,
Yeah,
then we obviously can use him.
yeah,
But like I said, it boiled back down to being in the know with people and also like relationship. Because once you build more relationship with people, then they be like, oh yeah, you can use them. But I feel like it didn't burst until everything else blew up.
right, dude. Has the following? So something I struggle with to this day is a lot of people. There's factors to why, like, how you value something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the things that I know affects it is, notoriety and fame, right? Since you've gotten the following that you've gotten, has that been like in correlation to how much you charge? Like, is that like a thing you say? Or obviously you don't say it, but like, do people like kind of know not to question a price because of it?
Yeah, they do, I would say. Because now it's rare that somebody will like, oh, you can't do it for this much. But at the same time, I base my rate on, like, I adjust it throughout the year, but I base it on how busy I am. So like, if I'm booked up for like 2-3 weeks, then I know that I gotta up my price because it's obviously too cheap. If like people just continually to book me, continually book. And if it's slow, then that's when I'll give like a discount or something like that.
Right.
But I would say that once I hit like 20,000, people rarely was like, man, it's expensive. It was more of, oh yeah, you one of the first ones to do it, so I understand.
Damn.
So it's just like that stuff I run into now.
That's cool, dude.
Which is crazy, like crazy thinking about it.
That's wild. And so it does affect. It does affect.
It does affect.
Dang, I need to get my following up, bro. So I want to go into that. It's one of the things I wrote down. Social media growth. This is something everyone wants to know. And I'll preface this with my struggles with social media and what I've seen. And, I've changed up my Instagram more than my wife changes outfits. I've changed it.
I was afraid to look over there.
No,
for you.
That's good. That means you got style. No. So for me, I don't have a strategy. I don't have a thing. I know you probably don't have like a strategy either. You just post and you do stuff. But now I feel like Instagram is a lot harder to gain a following or to get reached or to get stuff. But how did you do it? Because it wasn't too long ago that you blew up. You know what I mean? And you're still growing.
So the way I did it was the practice videos. Like I said, my practice videos is going to be somebody that has a big following. So just in case they see it, they share it.
Right.
So that's why I ask, like, I'll ask because if I ask, I mean, they seen the DM. So now they'll be looking for it. So when I share it with them, like what I usually do is I say, hey, here's a sneak peek. Hoping that they be like, hey, can you email that to me?
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's how I did most of my first ones is I'll ask them, they say, yeah, you can do it. Because they never probably seen it. They were like, yeah, whatever. And then I sent it to them, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like one of the biggest dancers, Mike Stefanina, the first time I sent him a video, I was like, hey, can I do this? And he responded like in 5 minutes. I was like, oh crap. Okay, yeah, let me work on this.
Dang.
He was like, yeah, what's your email? I'm gonna send you the high def one. I'm like, perfect.
Dang.
So he sent it to me. I sent it back to him. He posted it. That boosted me. And
was that the first one?
That wasn't the first. Who was the first? No, the first one was. What's that girl?
Because I know technically the first one was
Caleb.
But the first famous person or influential person.
It was a what's her name? She hasn't been posting in a while. She started doing a lot of clothing, but she was the first one. And the crazy thing is that's before I was asking people. Like I literally was just like edit it and post it.
And just tag them.
Yeah, I just tagged.
Yeah,
I edited, posted, tagged it, and then all of a sudden, like my phone goes.
Dang.
I'm like, what the heck? And this is before anything, so I'm like, what's going on? I ain't posting on my IG. What's going on? And it had like 50 comments.
Wow.
I was like, what in the world? So I'm trying to scroll. I'm like, what? Where's this coming from? I get down to it, and all she tagged was my name and dope.
Dang.
So when you only got that much on there, you're like, oh, let me see what this is. Boom.
Bro.
Because now I get people, they be like, oh, I want to shout out this person, this. Oh, Mr. Glory edited. So
Yeah,
you gotta scroll down. But
she just got the emoji, the video emoji. Yeah.
So she did that, and I was like, okay.
Dang.
So these people actually noticed. That's when I started asking.
Wow.
So then I started asking, and then they'll send it to me and send it back. And then, like with Stefanini, I actually did another video with him. He just followed back after the second video I did. I was like, hey, it was like a year later. So like I've been doing so many videos, I have to like come back around to do these because I don't want to do over and over. They're like, oh, all you do is video this person. So I came back around, did the video. He was like, oh, bro, you got so much better. And all of a sudden I saw a follow, like, bloop. I like, thank you.
That's fire. So he said, you need to step it up before I follow you. That's kind of messed up, bro. That's kind of messed up. That's wild. So your strategy, in a way, is just collabing with people that have more followers, and then you do it. But it's cool because they don't need to put in any effort.
Yeah, all you gotta do is post it.
They just gotta post it.
Tag.
It's not like an actual collab where y'all gonna meet, y'all gotta do this, y'all gotta do that. You're literally just giving them something cool to post.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, you're just, and I say this, people say this all the time, but you're just giving value to somebody.
Yeah, giving value, just sharing it, and staying consistent. Really, that's the main thing, is consistent. Because once I made a decision I'm gonna do music videos, I stopped doing Glow, and IG kicked my butt for it. They were like, "Oh, really? You want to stop posting every week?"
How did that affect you?
That affected a lot. I saw the followers drop. Like Dana was like, "You lost more followers than I have." I'm like, whatever.
I don't get that, because if it's actually people unfollowing, like I feel like if you don't post for a week,
I should be invisible. Like,
yeah, right.
Like, hold on, this dude ain't posted. Well, let me go unfollow.
I feel like Instagram be like manually unfollowing people, bro.
Because like I didn't post for a month, so I was like at 29.5, and like 2 weeks later it was like 26.
Wow.
I was like, whatever. And I'm like, I got so much, I don't even care. Like I already, because like mentally I'm like, I got 20,000 followers. I never even had over 3.
Right.
So like, whatever.
Yeah. It's just bonus. It's just whatever. Yeah.
So now I'm getting back to it, but yeah, consistency, because Instagram does not play.
So you do one a week. That's your thing.
Yeah, I try to do one a week.
Okay. Do you do hashtags at all?
Yeah, I do hashtags. Okay, so I do 25 to 30.
Okay.
I try to do 25 to 30, and then I try to switch it up because you get blacklisted if you keep doing the same one. And then another thing is tagging. So like I'll tag anything that's related to dance.
Wow.
Like all the dance pages, I'll tag them. Any dancer that's in it, they get tagged. Music, you did the song, you get tagged. So I tag all that.
Dang.
Because that way, the way I look at it is people can look up tag people. So they were like, oh, let me see who tagged this, and then they'll see that video.
Wow. Okay.
So I do it like that. That's pretty much
awesome. So tagging people, hashtags, and you see the most amount of impact when you tag people and they share it. That's
definitely
your goal.
Share it. Yeah,
you're just getting people to share it. I feel like a lot of people just kind of post and then hope and be like, why are my followers going up? And they don't do the tagging. They don't.
Yeah, you can do that to tag.
And it feels like hashtagging doesn't really work anymore. Or am I tripping? But
it is harder now.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a lot harder. But
it's got to be. It's weird because it's technically not organic anymore. But it feels like the only way to get known is through that organic sharing.
Yeah,
like the basics of Instagram again, which kind of sucks. Because there was like a little period where you could just post once a day, and it was like, oh, I'm gaining followers.
Yeah. Now it's like they hide it from you. But yeah, you gotta. But I think once when I was posting twice a week. So it didn't matter if somebody shared it or not. Like I was so consistent that it was like boom, boom, boom. It was just flowing. It was flowing. But yeah, hashtags did work a lot, and fan pages. Think that fan pages hurt. Like they help because Les Twins. Actually, fan pages is what got me connected with Les Twins. Because like this one girl, she's the leader of some Les Twin page. Yeah. And she was like, you should do a video with them. I was like, oh, that'll be dope. Like they both got like 1 million followers, and then they got a joint page with 1 million.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah,
that's 3 million.
So like, I was like, okay, I just tried. She's like, just do one on here. So I did it. She shared it, and then she had like a team of people. It's all Les Twins fans. Wow. Shared it to the point that he was like, hey, bro, let's do a video.
Dang.
I was like, whoa, that was quick.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. What's your take? What's your take on buying followers or likes or?
Never do it.
Never do it.
I would say never do it because people can tell. They can tell whenever you buy them. Because then, well, same way. Cause it's funny because I look at myself now that I haven't been posting. So when I do post, I get like 2,000 or 2,000 views. I'm like, dang, smart. Like, oh, he bought his followers. But like, if you look at it, like if you buy them and it's consistent, like, oh, you get like 50 likes. Like, people can see that. Like, they understand that. And that don't look legit.
Yeah.
So I would rather stay low, whatever your true number is, and just build up because it's gonna feel better at the end.
Yeah, I remember a little while ago I started working for this dude, and he was pretty popular. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was a popular dude. He shouted me out, and that got me from like 800 followers to 1,000, and I was ecstatic. I was like, oh shoot, I got 1,000, I made it. And then, but I got 200 followers from somebody who just shouted me out once, who said follow this person, but they didn't really have a connection with me at all. So right now, again, I've switched up my Instagram like 300 times. So I feel so bad for my followers. But anyways, recently I'm posting stuff and I have 1,000. A couple days ago I had 1,180 something. And I was like, I'm getting like 60 to 100 likes per post. And I'm like, this looks so bad. And I was like, but the thing is, it's not even my fault. I didn't do anything. I just was cool with this guy and he got me this, but they suck and they don't like my stuff. So I went cause I did my research. I'm like, cause apparently, and I read this the other day, one of the ways the current algorithm on Instagram pushes your content is based on your engagement rate. So that's clear, that's obvious, right? But nowadays, if you do have a lot less engagement, it's better to have less followers and have more engagement, because then they'll push you more and you'll get more natural followers. So I have 80 less followers now, but I decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And a lot of those pages, I'm kind of sussed out a little bit because a lot of those pages were like no profile pic. And I'm like, I didn't buy these. He must have done something, because that's crazy.
He's trying to get it off his bag.
Bro, they're either not real or they're like his friends Finstas. And they were like, I want to show my support, but not with my real account. I don't know, dude. But so I did that. I'm kind of sad, but it's all good. But that's cool. So tagging people, natural sharing.
Yeah, natural sharing.
That's the move. Okay. So one of the things I want to talk about is I thought it was important to me. And it's important to you. What's the future of Mr. Glory himself? What do you see happening in the future? Because, as a friend, as somebody who saw you going into and stepping into this, niche and into this thing, I knew from the jump, this is going to be draining. Not because of the fall, not because of any of that, because of the work. Yeah. Especially if you're doing 2 a week. Are you kidding? That's a lot of work. Like, it took me a while to do the branding for this. And I'm like, because you got to do all that per 30 seconds. So when I saw it, I was like, I remember telling you, I think we were in the student center and you were showing me and I was like, this is dope. And I was like, I'm sure this is what you want to do, because I know you. And, you're doing it, you're killing it, and it's great. And it's not, there's no judgment in this at all. That's not what I mean. But you're feeling that. You're feeling the I love that the sandwich. You've been eating the sandwich too many times. So what's the future? What are you gonna start doing from now on? What's your end goal for this next season?
For this next season, I want to build towards, because I want a good studio in Dallas. Maybe I haven't been invited to the right one, but a lot of studios that I've been to, and I've been to a lot, they're real small.
Right.
So like they may have like multiple different sections that you can do, but it's small. Like the table can barely fit in some of these spots.
Wow.
So I want to start like probably like a warehouse size. This is gonna be like probably 2 years down the road, but like a small warehouse to where I can break it up to where it's like true studio, to where it's like it's something that can like compete with almost LA. But that's on a whole other level, but almost. To a point where it's like it's a whole green room that's clean. It's like a white room, a black room, and then you got editing. So that way it's more space for you to actually do something that you want to do. Because I seen that whenever, like, I was thinking about it, but as I'm doing these music videos and I'm filming in studios, I'm seeing and I'm like, this didn't look like what you
what you advertised.
What you sent me. Because like I was like, oh yeah, with that we could do this. When I get there, I'm like, are you serious? Like we
Bro.
got 3 feet to put 4 people.
Yeah, and the
So,
camera
tight
already
shot.
takes up.
Yeah, so like if y'all, I'm gonna start showing behind the scenes of my music videos.
Mm-hmm.
But the first one I did that I posted in a while, it was so tight. People were like, where were you at? I was like, bro, I was in this hole in the wall. It was actually not too far from Irving.
Oh,
it was
wow.
so small, but I had like the computer, or I had the screen right here, had the light right here, and it's like this. So everything tight. It feel big, but it's like it's barely any room to move.
You got that 10 mil.
Yeah, like man. So yeah, I want to
build your own studio.
build
That's
a studio.
awesome, dude. I want in. I want to be a part of that.
Definitely.
That's awesome. That's cool. So you want to build your own studio, and then right now you're doing music videos now.
Yeah,
Let's
do a
Glow.
music video. Let's Glow. If it is Glow, it's in the music video.
Right.
So with that's the more immediate goal is because I'm just trying to build up my YouTube. I'm gonna start a new YouTube that I'm gonna post music videos. Because at first I was doing music videos, I didn't really care about it. So I'm like, oh, you can post it. I don't care.
Right.
But now I need people to see it. So I'm like, oh, that's what he can do. So I'm gonna start doing that. So I think like at 3 videos, then I'm gonna charge my regular rate. Because right now I'm just charging like a base for music video.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my friend in LA that's a videographer, director, and he was like, because I was asking like, hey, how do you break down like how much you gonna charge for a video? Like I want to give like a breakdown. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, like I want to say like I got this package, this package, this package. He's like, in music videos, it depends on the budget.
Right.
I was like, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So he was like, with a budget, then you break down, what you want to do.
Damn.
So now I'm learning like the stuff I've been doing. I'm like 10 titles in one for like a videographer, because you have a producer, you have the director, you got the DP, you have the gaffer, you got lights, you got electric, it's all this different stuff.
Right.
You got the creative director, the person that come with how the video is supposed to look, and then a person that makes sure, like, so I'm actually doing all that stuff right now. And he was telling me, he was like, you do all this. And he was like, you could charge for all this different things.
So that's the breakdown.
Yeah, that's the breakdown. So that's what I'm working on. So like the next 3 videos, if y'all watching this, I get that flat rate. But when those 3 videos, when they hit on YouTube, then that's when the true rate. Like the people that I've been working with, like I got an agreement with them. I'm still gonna kind of get them like the same deal, but new, nah,
it's over. It's over. Hey, I need 100K. I need 100K flat, advance 2 weeks.
Advance, please.
That's what I need. No, that's cool. I think that's huge. One of the things I learned again in 2020 was we overthink in our pitch and in our sales that we got to tell them everything. It's like, this is why, this is this, and this is, but majority of the time, it's funny. There's this meme I saw on Instagram. It's like a text from a client that paid you $100 and then a text from a client that paid you $5,000. And it was like the $100 client's like a paragraph on everything that's wrong and they're nitpicking. Man. And then the other one's like, dope, thanks. Yeah. For the person that paid more. And I think that people, not unfortunately, that's how it works. When you pay more for something, there's a different expectation.
Yeah.
I remember in my old podcast, I interviewed Aaron. Awesome guy, great videographer. He said, if I gave you this phone and you had this phone and I said you can have it for free, if you drop it tomorrow and you break it, you're going to be like, whatever. It was free. But if you paid $1,000 for it, you're going to put a case on it. You're going to put a screen protector. You're going to put Apple
Care. Catch it before it hit the ground.
Bro, exactly. Yeah, you're going to kick it up soccer style. No, but that's so big. And I think that's something, if anybody's listening that's pricing and stuff, like stop overthinking the why and the stuff and just tell them, hey, this is how much it is. Then when they ask for it, then obviously be prepared. Like that's a good strategy. Like, well, I'm directing, I'm doing this or that. Realistically, it would cost you this much to do it. Yeah, I know. So you're getting a deal. Yeah. But and then do it that way. But in the first, and when you're starting to pitch it, you don't gotta like know everything, or you gotta know it, but you don't gotta say it.
Yeah, you don't have to say it, and then just let people tell you no. Like they let them say no. Now don't you don't want to cap it. Yeah, because you may be like, oh man, they gonna see 1,500 on this invoice and gonna be like, I don't want to do it. I let people tell me no all day. Yeah, I'm like, look, this is what it is, and a lot of times they be like, sometimes like the first time I did it, I was like, let me see this invoice for 1,500, and all of a sudden they paid the whole 1,500. I'm like, whoa, wait.
Yeah. See, hey, it was 50% up front, 50%. Hey,
because I just want to make sure, like, hey, the deposit did say 50%. He was like, I just want to take care of it,
dude.
Like, oh, dang, charging everybody 1,500.
That's facts, bro. That's real. A lot of and I think people too. That's another thing. Like you're trying to offer all this stuff. Like majority of people just kind of want to get rid of that. And like, it's weird and it's weird to say, but at the end of the day, especially when I work with businesses a lot, so it's a lot. I gotta think, with you and with artists, it's more D2C. It's more like to consumer type stuff. For me, I'm talking to businesses who have a budget for marketing, who have a budget for this. And it's like, when they're doing X or whatever, for them, that's a write-off. Like,
exactly.
That's they want to get rid of it. They want to do it. And with the people I'm working, it's like you said, it's either, just take it, or it's like, okay, cool. Or you try to give them this. But my thing is like, just don't overthink it. That's huge,
don't overthink it at all.
That's huge, dude. Well, let me see. I'm trying to see my questions. That you made a good point. Then the making sure you get a no. Why do you do that?
I do that because, like I said, I don't want to cap myself. So I want to make sure that I feel comfortable. And of course, I'm not going to just overcharge, but if I feel that my work is worth this, I have to ask it and let them tell me no, because if you overthink it and say, oh, they're not going to do it, and you're like, okay, they're not going to do 2,000, so let me just do 1,000, and then they take it, then you're going to be like, dang, they did that too fast. Like, they didn't have a rebuttal. It was like, okay, yeah, thanks, here. Like, wait, that's way too easy. So I come at what I normally charge and let them say, oh, nah, I can't do it. Yeah. And very rare, more often than not, they'll pay a deposit before they say, oh, this is too much. Like now I barely get it's too much. Yeah. Because of course, if you're consistent, like they seen like pretty much your reel, because your IG could be your reel these days. Yeah. So they seen your work, they were like, I can't get this nowhere else. So right. I got to pay it. So that's why I let people tell me no. Yeah. Instead. That's
huge. And that's another thing too, because you said it, they see your work before you do it. I think a lot of people, and we talked about it, how you said it's training, it's not free. Yeah. I am a firm believer in that. Like you can do projects for, no monetary purpose, but don't do it. Like one of the things I used to get a lot is like, well, I just kind of want to try you out. I kind of want to make sure you can do it. And at first, when you first start, that's a valid point, because like you don't really have a lot to show for it. But when you have a few videos, a few photo shoots, a few graphics under your belt that you can show, that's when you reply with the, hey, I can do it. Look at this. And it's like, because a lot of people are taking advantage of creatives and stuff. That's a huge reason why I'm doing this whole agency, is so I can get people who I've been like crazily taken advantage of by agencies. Like you said, like that one that was jipping people. That was my whole 19 to 20-year-old phase. And it sucks. And that's one of the motives for doing that, because I want to give people or other creatives, like, and this is what this is for, this conversation is like, no, dude, like you are worth that $10,000 video. Definitely. You are worth that, whatever it is, and obviously you know, I knew when I sucked. Okay. I wasn't out here posting and tagging, Adidas when I did a little like 10-second, because I don't want them to see it.
I don't see this.
Yeah. It's just practice. But if you're doing something and you're offering them value, you should be fine with them giving you something back, Exactly. That's huge.
And especially they reach out to you. Anybody that reach out to me, they're getting charged. Off the rip. They either getting charged or you got a crazy following to where I know I'm gonna get paid. So like if I do something with somebody that got like a couple million followers, they're like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, I'm gonna let them know up front. If you post it and tag me, I'll do it. Because I can guarantee I'm gonna get a client. Every time they post, there is multiple clients that'll come from that. Dang. But if anybody reach out to me like, hey man, y'all was wondering, we can collab. Oh no. We left collab in 2018.
Bro, talk about that. Because I remember you made a video about this.
Yeah, I made a video about that. And ever since I made that video, the collab DMs came to a halt.
So what was that? What was the video?
Whenever I first started, it's like people want to it's like they want to leech off of you, kind of. That's how I feel. Like, ooh, okay, he good. He ain't really got started. Let me collab. Let me throw in, it's like for a collab to work, we both have the benefit. Right. So if we trying to do a collab and you selling something, that means that you finna get paid from something that you did, but I'm not. I just did it for the love or whatever.
That's real.
So if I'm collabing, it has to be something where we both winning. If not, it is usually not the case when somebody say collab, because whenever I was getting somebody to say collab, it's just they want something free. So
it's so
it'd be
disrespectful
like
too, because it just says, it ain't even like, bro, you're so dope. And they ain't even warming you up. They're just texting you, collab? It's like, dang, dude.
Collab, question mark? Like, collab what? What are we doing?
Collab with your 500 followers? That's a collab? That's wild.
Yeah, I had those. I think I had a conversation with that because I think the last one, I think it was like 10,000. It was somebody with like 400 or 500 was like, yeah, let's collab. I'm like, so you get some dope content, and I'm gonna share it.
Yeah.
So now if you get some followers, what I get? Like, what am I doing?
Hey, you're getting 500 followers, bro.
Like, I literally had a company do that with me. It was like, yeah, man, yeah, we're gonna share it, this, and that. I'm like, come on now. I lost 500 followers last week. Like, come on.
That's wild, bro.
But it's like, you don't really want to get big headed about it, but you just don't want to get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And I refuse to get taken advantage of with that, especially with that. So it stopped. I think that was 18 or 19 whenever I dropped that video.
No more collabs, bro.
No more.
No, only for my podcast.
Yeah.
No, so we're at about an hour now. So I wanted to end this in two different ways. The first one, I got some rapid fire questions for you.
Let's go.
This that podcast 101 right here. I'm very ashamed of myself for doing this because I can think of anything else. All right. This is getting to know Ty. We got to know Mr. Glory today. I want to know Tyrell. Okay, so you got to answer these quickly. All right, I ain't got a timer. I ain't got an hourglass.
So like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and these are tough. It's putting you in the hot seat. All right, here we go. Ready?
Ready.
Who is the most? Hold on. This doesn't have to be local. This doesn't just in general. Because again, rapid fire question. Just the first thing that pops in your mind. You know. Here we go. Who is the most slept on artist right now?
Most slept on. Wow. Dang. I haven't listened to any new artists lately.
You said Drake.
Yeah, Drake is slept. He's super slept. I would say
maybe that you listen to. Who?
I'll just say Key Glock.
Ooh.
That's somebody I listened to recently.
I gotta listen to that. I never heard of that person.
He ratchet.
Fire?
Yeah,
All right.
He ratchet though.
Okay. Hold on.
I say hood. He's hood.
Yeah. Okay. So, Key Glock.
Yeah, Key Glock.
Okay. Okay. Here we go next. If you could produce a music video for any artist in the world, who would it be? Like, this is someone you do it. Like, no questions asked. You get that.
Drake.
Drake, of course, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that.
Because everything else can fall from that.
That's fact. And Drake just be getting other people money. Like,
yeah.
Bro. All right. So that's like it's like that one song, that Lemon Pepper. He's like, facts. Okay. Who's your biggest inspiration in life?
Biggest inspiration? I'll say my mom.
Oh, okay. I love your mom. Your mom. Which do you like the least? Filming or editing?
Editing.
Oh, bro. And you did that for 2 years. That's wild. You're wild for that. I cannot, bro. If I had to do that twice a week, bro, and that's 3 days a minute, nah, bro. Yeah, but I commend you, bro. Yeah. You're strong, bro. I can't. I would die. I would melt. Anytime I have an editing day, Sylvia knows I'm getting at least one mental breakdown that day.
Yeah, Dana knows.
Oh,
she
bro.
know, like, whenever I'm editing, she'll come in and she'll say something. Can you edit it? I'm like, yes.
That's real, dude.
Because, like, it's like your temper is already at a peak. Because you just did something and After Effects may crash.
Oh, bro. If After Effects crashes, bro. Dude. Okay. Anyways, I'm getting mad just listening. Apple or Android? This is tough because I know you're...
Unfortunately, Apple. And it's because it's just so compatible with being a creative.
That's facts.
So compatible.
Facts.
Yeah. I'm going to get an Android, though.
Are you?
I'm going to get another one.
I want to get the Google Pixel.
I want the fold one.
Oh, that's fire. Because you used to be all Android.
All Samsung.
You used to piss me off. I had green bubbles all up in my message.
What's up? I had somebody feel like, change your phone. No.
You gotta charge more for me to change my phone. Yeah. No, okay. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I would say to stop time.
Oh, dang, that's a slept on one.
Yeah, stop time.
That's fire. What would you
it's
do
like
if you
speed?
Oh, yeah.
Stop time. Oh, if I stop time, I'm editing like crazy.
Oh, bro, dude, you get 2-second turnarounds.
Here you go. Leave me alone.
You're so smart, bro. I'm so stupid. I wouldn't have thought that in a business sense. I would have done stuff different. Okay, coffee or tea?
Tea. I just don't like coffee. Everybody around me loves coffee.
Well, it's been hustle culture. You like tea? What's your favorite tea?
I don't even green tea.
Green tea.
Yeah, green tea.
That's still his favorite. I like chamomile tea. That's good.
Yeah, that's
That's fine. All right, coffee's better, but it's cool. Would you rather live in a penthouse downtown or in a mansion in the country?
Downtown.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you downtown. That's you. Checks or stripes, aka Nike or Adidas for the people who don't listen to Drake.
I got stripes on right now. I'm gonna go checks though.
Hey, why? It's rapid fire, but I'm curious.
Because Nike is just so. I mean, that's like the OG. You know. I mean, because if it's stripes, it's just Yeezys, pretty much. But with Nike, I mean, Jordan is under Nike, all this under Nike. Nike is like you can just throw on a pair of Nikes any day.
Yeah, I feel like Adidas is gonna get up there one day though. When
they still have some runners too. That's good.
They got Lorenzo now too.
Oh, they do.
Jerry Lorenzo with Adidas now.
Oh,
he got that tattoo on his neck too. The 3 stripes. That was wild. Apparently that's like a Bible quote. Like the 3 stripes. But I don't know. I think you got to check off that. That's wild. Okay. So Nike. I agree. Nike's way better. But we'll see. Hopefully Jerry makes it better. Last one. What's the most? Because look, we talked about Mr. Glory. We're talking about Ty. Something about Ty is this dude never looks bad. This dude's always looking fly. He's always the coolest one in the room. So I'm curious, what's the most slept on clothing brand?
Most slept on.
And this can be, it don't have to be like a street hype thing.
Yeah.
Old Navy, you know what I mean?
It's this Dallas. It's a Dallas brand. So
You're not rocking Old Navy. That's all me. That's just more about me.
Dallas. It's this Dallas brand called Supa. SUPA. Because I got a friend, DJ Supa, and I thought it was his brand. Because he was like, it's hard for me getting this shirt. I'm like, bro, ain't that your company?
Yeah.
And then the company responded like, nah, LOL. I was like, oh, this is something separate. And I looked at it. Shoot. So it's like Hype Beast, but it's Dallas.
Oh.
Dallas Hype Beast.
Super. All right. If you live in Dallas,
holla at Supa.
Yeah. Super. All right, man. That was super hot fire podcast. I'm cutting that. No, but that's it, man. Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Anytime.
It was great talking to you. We haven't talked, honestly, since the pandemic hit, like in person, I think. So it was nice. It was nice seeing you again. Yeah. But yeah, man, I want to give you this last however many minutes to plug anything you're doing, your Instagram, what you're trying to do, anything coming up. Let them know.
My IG, Mr. Glory, is right there. One thing I do want to plug is my music videos will be under, because this is like the first week that I changed my business name. So I changed it to GUM, which is Glory Universal Media.
Dang.
Yeah. So I wanted something professional. I want somebody
that's fire. Yeah, but it has it has wings to be like
yeah.
Also that's cool.
Like I was saying before the podcast, like it was capped. Ty Visual was capped to where it's just visuals. So it makes sense to put effects and it makes sense for music videos, but with GUM, I can play on words with GUM. And I'm gonna show you the logo I've been working on for the GUM logo. But look forward to that because that's gonna be mostly music videos and branching off from there.
Dang, awesome. So GUM, Mr. Glory, catch him on Instagram. He's YouTube. He has a personal YouTube too. Which is awesome. I
get before back to behind the scenes.
Yeah, before you came, I saw the one of you doing that clip that you post on your Instagram, the real estate one. Cool, man. Well, it's been a pleasure, dude.
Nice. I appreciate the invite, man.
Always. Well, if you, I'm gonna say this here, might as well. If you're listening to Hustle Culture, you made it this far. We started a Twitter. account. It's at Hustle Culture _ because the first one was taken. So it gave me Hustle Culture 4. I was like, no, I can't have a number after it. That just sucks. So Hustle Culture _ for Twitter. Tweet at me. Tweet at us. Your favorite clip, whatever. And just follow us there because we'll be doing interactive polls, who should be interviewed, all that good stuff at hustleculture_. But yeah, it's been a vibe. Thank you so much for coming. And yeah, that's it.
Appreciate it, man.